What's up, my central unit? It's a central man here, so this is gonna be a brand new series on this channel. So this is my review of the first episode of NWA Powerr. The first episode was broadcast last Tuesday on the 8th of October 2019. The first episode of the revival of the National Wrestling Alliance. What is the National Wrestling Alliance? The NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, was formed in 1948 in the late 40s, throughout the rest of the 50s, 60s, 70s, and the 80s. I think it was the late 80s, early 90s. The NWA was transformed into WCW. You know, it was throughout. I think it was throughout the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. It was like run by the Jim Crockett Promotions, and then I think it was the late 80s. It was bought by Ted Turner. It was transformed into World Championship Wrestling. Everyone knows it's WCW, and by the time in 2001, WCW was out of business. 2 years ago, in 2017, Billy Corgan, he was in TNA for a cup of coffee, decided to revive the National Wrestling Alliance. So we got, in 2019, NWA Powerr. So this show was in Atlanta, Georgia. I think it was at the GPS Studios. Yeah, it was in a small studios in Atlanta, Georgia. The commentators for the show were Jim Cornette and Joe Gailey. So the first segment on the show, we got Dave, I think he's called Dave Martinez, interviewing the NWA World Champion Nick Aldis, formerly known as Magnus in TNA. He basically pointed over the champions in NWA. You know, he bring up the wild cards. They are the tag team champions. Jane Storm is the national champion, and also Allison Kay, she is the women's champion. And also he bring up Tim Storm. I'm guessing Nick Aldis is a babyface. He said, "I respect Tim Storm." It said pro wrestling helped him buy him the clothes, the car, and also brings the meal to his kid, to his son. And also he kind of dubbed him as the national treasure. So that was the first segment. Moving on to the first match of the show, and the first ever match of NWA Powerr. So the first match, we got a tag team match. We got the Dawsons taking on Sal. I'm gonna butcher this dude's name. Sal Rinaldo and Billy Buck. This match is nothing like special. It's just basically just a squash match. The Dawsons got the win, and then they cut a promo they're referring ourselves as bullies. So moving on to basically a segment on the show, and yeah, the second segment we got Austin Idol. Basically, he was kind of like promoting his wrestling school. Moving on to Eli Drake, the former Impact Wrestling World Champion. He basically was putting over the people in Atlanta, Georgia. He says he's going after any champion, and this is the fact of life. I don't remember the promo that well, but moving on to the next match of the show, we got Eli Drake taking on Caleb Conley, and this was decent. This match was decent. That Caleb Conley guy, he had some offense. He's not really. He is a jobber, but he did, hold off his own. So anyway, Eli Drake got the win. He hit Connolly with the gravy train. And moving on to another segment, you had this guy called Joe Sizik. He was like angry and shouting like, "Where is Storm? Where is Storm?" I think he's looking for Tim Storm. And then Jim Cornette or Joe Gailey says he's got a match against Nick Aldis in the main event, and otherwise we got James Storm. Yeah, because Sizik was kind of like shouting for Storm. Is it Jane Storm or Tim Storm? But it's James Storm. Storm basically called him a joke. I am Jane's mother effing Storm. And also they brawl between Sizik and Storm. That's the last time we see them on the show. So match number 3, we got another tag team match. We got the NWA Tag Team Champions. That is the wild cards. That is Royce Isaacs and Tommy Latimer, formerly known as Bram in TNA, and Kenneth Cameron from NXT. In WWE. The original former member of the Ascension, taking on Danny White and Miz, and this was another squash match. The tag team champions won this match. Latimer performed a pop-up powerbomb. That is basically Kevin Owens' finisher, old finisher. And then you got, I think it's Isaac. It was basically a full Nelson turning into a suplex. I think it was, Latimer pin. I think it was White or Miz. Yeah, no, it'll be White. And afterwards, the tag team champions, he was about to, you got, basically Latimer, shouting, it's like, we are the goddamn champions of the world. And Isaac was about to say something, and then you got this confrontation between Eddie Kingston. He kind of was making fun of Tommy Latimer. He said his former old ring name, Bram, because if you don't know, Latimer or Bram and Kingston were tag team partners. They were in a group back in 2016 in TNA known as the DCC. Yeah, it was confrontation between the Wild Cards, Kingston, and Homicide. I thought it was about going to be a brawl between both. Basically they were basically formed as a tag team. Kingston and Homicide and the Wild Cards. Instead, it was a continued brawling between Joe Sissick and Jane Storm. They were fighting in the up the stairs. You're basically fighting in the crowd, and then the brawl turning into a match. Yeah, we got Jane Storm versus Joe Sissick, and this was another squash match. Basically, Jane Storm hit Sissick with the super kick, or he's called it the last call. To score the victory, he hits another last call. He kind of placed his thumb to Sissick's mouth. It looked like he sucked his own thumb, and that's it. And then we got a final promo segment. Not final promo segment. We got a promo segment with Tim White, and also there's some video package of him. Said when he was a world champion, and also in a different promotion, he said Aldis said to Storm, "If you don't beat me, you will never get another shot of the NWA World Championship." And then you got Dave, I think it was Dave Martinez or Joe Gailey interviewing Tim Storm. He brings up his elderly mom and and the fans chanting "mommy." It wasn't goofy, but he's bringing what's it called? A tear to people's eyes. He got an okay promo. And then we got the main event. We got Nick Aldis, the National Treasure, defending the NWA World Championship against Tim Storm, and this was match of the night. Back and forth between Aldis and Storm. Aldis was about to lock in the Texas Cloverleaf, but Storm counted into a roll up. He's about to, I think it was a small package, but Aldis kicked out from that. Storm locked Nick Aldis with the figure 4 leg lock. And luckily, Aldis reached the ropes. And then I think they did moves on the top rope. Aldis did a flying elbow. I think Storm hit the swanton bomb. Aldis got out of the way. Aldis locked in the king. I think he called it the Kingsley Cloverleaf. That is the Texas Cloverleaf. Yeah, and Storm also managed to reach the ropes. I thought he would win, but instead, Aldis hit the rolled up Storm with the small package, got the win, retained the NWA World Title, and then Gailey was a bit of a prick. He's trying to interview in Kamel, that is Nick Aldis' valet, and Aldis kind of shut down Gailey, say, "Don't ruin it with Tim Storm. You trying to. We had a good main event. Why you ruin it? Save your clip big for next week, and the show was off the air. Yeah, it was a good show. Not great, but good. Remember, NWA Powerr is every Tuesday. So I'm going to review it on Wednesday. So this first episode review will be on Wednesday. So hope you enjoyed this review, folks. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button and subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. This is the Central Man officially signing out.